Take a slow breath before you go any further, because this message is not small and it is not casual. It did not arrive all at once. It came through long, quiet nights, through thoughts that would not settle, through feelings someone tried to bury and could not keep hidden anymore. Something has shifted. Something is pressing harder now. And if you found this at exactly this moment, there may be a reason for that. So stay with me. Do not click away, because what you are about to hear may explain the silence, the distance, and the strange heaviness that has been sitting in your chest. This is about a connection that was never as simple as it looked. It is about words left unsaid, timing that went wrong, pride that got in the way, and emotions that kept growing in the dark. And before anything else, you need to hear this clearly. You are not imagining it. You are not foolish. You are not reading too much into something that was never there. What you felt was real. The pull was real. The care was real. The bond was real. And what happened after that was not all in your head. Hold on to that. Let it settle. Because the rest of this message only makes sense when you stop blaming yourself for a story that carried two hearts, not one. And what comes next matters more than you think. This person has been holding something in for much longer than they ever let show. Longer than they would admit to anyone. Longer than even you may realize. They did not simply wake up one day and stop caring. They did not suddenly forget you. They did not move on as easily as they tried to make it seem. What really happened is that they pushed their feelings down because they did not know what to do with them. They hid what they felt because facing it felt too big, too exposing, too dangerous. Silence seemed safer. Distance seemed easier. Acting cold seemed more controlled than telling the truth. But feelings do not disappear just because someone refuses to name them. They do not fade only because a person looks away. They stay, they collect weight, they build pressure. Day after day they grow heavier until the person carrying them can barely breathe under it. That is where this person is now, not relaxed, not free, not untouched. Something has stirred all of this up again, and it feels recent. Maybe they saw something that brought you back in a second. Maybe they heard your name and everything inside them went still. Maybe they dreamed of you so vividly that waking up felt like losing you all over again. Or maybe life finally got quiet enough for truth to stop whispering and start shouting. Now they are sitting with a fear they can no longer brush aside. They might really lose you, not as some distant possibility, not someday, now. That thought hit them when there was nothing left to distract them. It hit in the middle of the night. It hit in the silence after the noise. It hit when the phone felt too still and the room felt too empty. It hit when being around other people started to feel hollow instead of healing. And the truth that followed was painful. No one feels like you. No one listens the way you listened. No one understands the way you understood without needing every part explained. No one gave them safety the way you did without making them feel trapped or judged. You were different. You always were. That is what is haunting them now. They are starting to understand that what they had with you was not ordinary, not replaceable, not something they could walk away from and find again somewhere else. If this already feels uncomfortably close to your truth, keep listening, because it goes deeper. They want to say they should have spoken earlier. They want to say they thought there would be more time. They want to say they never believed you would truly begin to let go. They thought your patience would stay. They thought your care would keep the door open. They did not realize that doing nothing was also a decision, and that decision has a cost. They feel the weight of every moment when they stayed quiet and left you alone with questions. They feel the ache of every time you needed honesty and got distance instead. Back then, silence felt safe to them. Pulling away felt like control. Avoiding the hard conversation felt better than risking the wrong words, but avoiding pain does not erase it. It stretches it out. It deepens it. It turns one difficult moment into many. And now they are living inside that result. They let fear choose for them. They let pride speak for them. They let silence become their language. While that was happening, something else was happening too. You were changing, quietly, strongly, in ways they did not expect until it was too late to ignore. Your energy is different now. Your patience is different now. The way you answer is different. Even the way you stay silent is different. Before, your silence felt like waiting. Now it feels like peace. And that change is shaking them more than anger ever could. They knew how to handle drama. They knew how to hide from tension. But they do not know what to do with your calm. They do not know how to face a version of you that is no longer begging for clarity, no longer chasing reassurance, no longer reaching for someone who would not reach back. That quiet strength in you is forcing them to see what they risked, and maybe what they already lost. What scares them is not only losing your presence, it is losing the way you made them feel seen. It is losing the comfort they found in you without ever learning how to protect it. It is losing the rare feeling of being understood without having to perform, impress, or pretend. You felt like home to them in a way they did not know how to keep. And now one question keeps circling in their mind, louder every day. Did I damage the one thing that truly mattered? That question follows them everywhere. It sits beside them when they try to sleep. It comes back when they try to move on. It appears in conversations with other people the moment they feel the difference between something shallow and something real. They notice the gap immediately. Nobody feels like you. Nobody carries your energy. Nobody reaches the same place in them. And the more they try to ignore that, the more obvious it becomes. They are not doing well, and I need to say that plainly. They wake up with your absence before they even fully open their eyes. They move through the day and ordinary things turn into reminders. A place, a phrase, a smell, a song, a certain time of night. The body remembers what the mind tries to bury. That is why the memories keep finding them. That is why your name keeps returning to them in quiet moments they cannot control. There are times when they are surrounded by people and still feel completely alone, because no one in the room knows them the way you did. No one sees through them the way you could. No one makes the noise in their head settle the way your presence once did. And now, with distance between you, they are finally seeing parts of you they took for granted when you were close. Your strength, your patience, your softness, your ability to love deeply without demanding proof every 5 minutes, your ability to stay warm in a cold world. They see it now, and that realization does not come gently. Some days it lands as sadness. Some days it lands as regret. Some days it becomes something so heavy they cannot even name it. But listen carefully here. Their pain does not cancel yours. Their regret does not rewrite what you went through. Their sadness does not mean you were wrong to step back. You were not wrong. You did what you had to do. You protected yourself when love started to feel like waiting in an empty room. You protected yourself when silence became the answer you kept getting. And you should not feel guilty for that. Stay with this part, because it matters. You can care and still walk away. You can love and still protect your peace. You can understand someone's wounds and still refuse to be cut by them again. That is not cruelty. That is wisdom earned the hard way. They compare other people to you even when they do not mean to. Every conversation feels thinner than what they had with you. Every laugh feels a little forced. Every new connection feels like a copy of something that once felt alive and true. They do not say your name out loud much, but inside it is there all the time. Sometimes softly, sometimes so loud it drowns out everything else. There is also a small memory they keep going back to, not a dramatic scene, not some grand ending, something quiet. Maybe it was the way you looked at them when the room was full and no one else noticed. Maybe it was a sentence you said that made them feel understood for the first time in years. Maybe it was your laugh. Maybe it was the way you said their name. Maybe it was how the hard days felt lighter when you were near. That small memory lives in them now like a private echo. They revisit it at night. They revisit it in the middle of ordinary days. They revisit it when something random cracks open the wall they built. And every time they return to that memory, they know the same thing. What they had with you was real. What they felt with you was rare. And nothing since has come close. That truth keeps pressing on them. It does not leave. It does not weaken. It only becomes harder to deny. But while they sit inside that truth, you need to remember something just as important. You do not owe them your waiting. You do not owe them your sleepless nights. You do not owe them the peace you fought so hard to rebuild. Just because they finally feel the loss does not mean your life has to stop and hold a place for them. Their pain is real. Yours is real too. And yours matters just as much. You already gave so much. You stayed longer than many people would have. You loved harder than they were ready to receive. You kept showing up while they hesitated, hid, delayed, and pulled back. None of that makes you weak. It shows how deeply you are willing to love. But loving someone does not mean disappearing inside the process. And that is where this was starting to go. You were pouring from yourself until there was almost nothing left. You were carrying the emotional weight for two people while they were struggling to carry even their own. So when you stepped away, it was not because you became cold. It was because you finally understood that love should not feel like begging. It should not feel like proving your worth. It should not feel like standing still while someone else decides whether you matter enough to choose. They have tried to fill the space you left. They have tried staying busy. They have tried acting fine. They have tried convincing themselves they made the right choice. They have thrown themselves into routine, noise, work, other people, temporary distractions, anything that might stop the feeling for a while. But every distraction wears off. Every attempt to move on brings them back to the same truth. You were the one who made them feel something honest, and they stepped away from that not because it meant nothing, but because it meant too much. They were afraid of how deeply they felt, afraid that if they let you all the way in, you would touch the parts of them they keep hidden. The insecure parts, the ashamed parts, the uncertain parts. So they chose what felt safer: distance, silence, delay. But safe is not the same as happy, and they are learning that now, in a way, they cannot escape. Meanwhile, you have been building something new, a steadier version of yourself, a quieter life inside your own spirit, a peace that no one handed to you. You built it with your own tears, your own choices, your own painful lessons. That is why it carries real power. They can feel this change in you. They hear it in what you say, and even more in what you no longer say. They feel it in the fact that you are not trying to prove your value anymore. And that unsettles them deeply, because anger they could have handled. Drama they could have called messy and used as an excuse to stay back. But your peace means something bigger. It means you have accepted what they refused to face. It means you have moved forward in the quietest and strongest way possible. You stopped chasing. You stopped over-explaining. You stopped shrinking yourself so they could stay comfortable. You stopped pouring endless understanding into someone who was not meeting you with action. And that did not happen overnight. It happened slowly, the way real change usually does. One morning you were simply different. You were tired in a new way, clear in a new way, done in a new way. You realized you were waiting for someone to hand you the love, clarity, and reassurance you were already learning to give yourself. That shift changed everything. Let this part sink in. You were not wrong for loving them. You were not foolish for believing in the connection. You were not weak for staying as long as you did. But there comes a point when staying stops being love and starts becoming self-abandonment. You were approaching that point, and your soul knew it before your mind fully admitted it. So you stepped back. You chose yourself, not because you wanted to punish them, not because you stopped feeling, but because your heart deserved more than half effort, half answers, and half presence. You finally believed that, and that belief is now part of your strength. This person feels a door closing, not a loud slam, not a dramatic ending, a soft and quiet closing, and somehow that is what frightens them most, because quiet endings often mean the deepest kind of final. They want to reach out, they want to explain, they want to say sorry in a way that is real, not polished, not convenient, not empty. But fear is still fighting them. Fear keeps whispering, what if it is too late? What if you do not care anymore? What if they finally open up and you turn away? So they hesitate. They write messages and erase them. They pick up the phone late at night and put it down again. They stare at your name without pressing send. They replay conversations in their head that never happen in real life. And with every day they wait, the pressure builds. Still, while their panic grows, your peace holds. That matters. That means something. You built a life that does not depend on whether they show up or stay silent. You wake up and keep going. You carry yourself with a steady strength that did not exist in the same way before, and no one handed that to you. You carried yourself through the worst of it. You held your own heart when it felt like no one else was coming. You learned, slowly and painfully, that being chosen is not what makes you whole. You were whole before all of this. You are whole now. You only forgot for a while. They are going through something inside themselves that they do not fully understand yet. They feel restless without knowing why. They feel a kind of emptiness they cannot easily name. Some nights they lie awake wondering what you are doing, whether you think of them, whether you have already moved on, whether someone else is making you laugh now, whether your life has grown peaceful without them in it. Those thoughts tighten something in them, not because they have a right to expect anything. They know they do not. But the heart does not care much about rules when it finally starts telling the truth. And their heart still feels you. They go back to old messages. They reread words they never answered. They look at your attempts to connect and feel the sting of every moment they chose hiding over honesty. Each unanswered message feels different now. It feels like evidence of who you were trying to be and who they were afraid to be. They may even notice signs that keep bringing you up when they least expect it. Your name appearing, a song at the wrong time, a dream that feels too vivid to shake off, memories arriving like they were invited by something bigger than coincidence. Whether you believe in signs or not, one thing is clear: they cannot outrun this anymore. Life keeps turning them back toward what they avoided. It keeps asking them a question they are running out of ways to ignore. The fight inside them is real now. One part wants to come toward you. One part still wants to hide. One part is tired of pretending life without you feels fine. Another part is terrified of rejection, terrified of accountability, terrified of discovering that your peace no longer has space for their uncertainty. They are caught between the version of themselves that stayed guarded and the version that wants to become honest at last. The old version stays silent. The old version protects itself, chooses comfort, delays truth, keeps emotions locked behind pride. But a new version is trying to break through, a version tired of wearing emotional armor, a version tired of calling distance safety, a version tired of acting like they are okay when they are not. That version is getting stronger, and when it finally speaks, it may not arrive in the exact way you imagine. It could be a late-night message, a shaky call, a brief meeting, a small sentence carrying more truth than all the silence that came before it. Or it could be something simple that only the two of you would understand. But hear this clearly. Even if that moment comes, you do not owe an answer before you are ready. You do not have to open a door just because someone finally found the courage to knock. Their awakening does not cancel your healing. Their timing does not control your next step. You still get to choose what protects your peace. And maybe that is the deepest truth in all of this. You are no longer standing in the old place where your entire heart waits on someone else's decision. You are not hoping to be completed. You are not begging to be seen. You are not broken because someone failed to love you well. You became stronger through every silence that tried to empty you out. That strength is part of you now. So if they return, you will feel the difference. You will know whether their words carry truth or just fear of losing access to you. You will know the difference between someone who misses you because you were comforting and someone who is finally ready to love you with honesty, action, and presence. Those are not the same thing. And you understand that now in your bones. You can care deeply and still keep boundaries. You can wish someone healing and still leave the door closed. You can honor a connection and still refuse to abandon yourself for it again. In the coming days, you may feel a shift around all of this. A warmth that appears for no clear reason. A dream that stays longer than usual. A memory that rises unexpectedly. A strange sense that something is moving beneath the surface. Notice it if it comes. Feel it if it comes. But do not let it pull you backward automatically. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is recognize the bond, understand what it taught you, and keep walking toward the life you worked so hard to build. This person is close to a breaking point inside, because real feelings do not stay hidden forever. You can build walls, you can add distance, you can dress fear up as logic. But what is real keeps pressing through the cracks until it can no longer be ignored. They are nearing that edge. And when that moment arrives, everything may change very quickly. But your value does not begin on the day they finally admit it. Your worth was real when they were silent. Your worth was real when they left you questioning yourself. Your worth was real on every single day you kept going with tears in your eyes and strength in your hands. So let this be the truth you leave with. You were never asking for too much. You wanted honesty, presence, effort, clarity. These are not impossible things. These are the basics of love. If someone saw your value too late, that is sad, but it does not create a debt you must repay with another chance. You have already done the hard part. You have already survived what tried to break you. If they come forward, you will know what feels true. If they do not, you are still moving toward a life that belongs to you. Either way, you are no longer lost inside their silence. You are no longer waiting in the dark for someone else to choose you. You chose yourself, and that changed the whole story.